On the 25th of November, 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝 was given the sack. We moved to bring in his replacement. We've got Heckingbottom back.
Hiya Blades, so here to react to the news that 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝𝐕𝐏𝐍 got sacked and that he's been replaced by Paul Heckingbottom. So my first emotion was confusion. Didn't understand why it had come at the timing that it has. Like, if it had happened a couple of weeks ago, started the international break, you start to think, okay, you know, it's not what I would have done, but results weren't really good enough. We were underperforming. We also were playing a different system. It was my understanding we were looking for someone to play 3-5-2 in the summer. We weren't doing that, so I could have understood the decision then. I mean, it don't make any sense. You get, you know, the highest paid manager in the championship, I believe, someone who's got a reputation for coming on strong and having really good runs in the second half of the season. To sack him in November's interesting, but there was a logic to it. I could have got it. You then follow that up and you say, right, we're promoting our under-23 manager to be our permanent manager on a 4.5-year deal. Okay, I don't get the length of that contract at all. Would he not have took 18 months, give him end of this season, and then next season to see how he does? You then can start to judge him on his performance and say, how are we doing? Are we getting better? Are we seeing positive signs? So just couldn't understand the length of that contract. So lots of confusion building up. And then we had a press conference. And my God, what was the press conference? Like, what were they thinking? Did they really think that was going to help? Did they come out there? Was that their PR saying like, oh yeah, don't worry about us. We know what we're doing? Because that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Some of the things that they said were just plain stupid. That worries me more than anything. I could have got on board with the changing manager. And we do all need to get behind Heckingbottom because it's definitely not going to work without the fans. But I'm beyond words, I think, for how bad that press conference was and how much it scares me that everybody else, you look at Norwich, you look at Fulham, you look at other clubs, go up to the Premier League, take the money, and they improve. And some teams make a very, very good business out of doing that. West Brom, Norwich, Sheffield United. Oh, well, what we'll do is we'll go up, we'll get the money, we'll stay up, have a great season, finish 9th. We'll have another season there, get more money, get relegated, get parachute payments, somehow be absolutely skint, sack as manager, and end up in an absolute shambles. I can't fathom what we've done to get to this stage. The punishment we get for having a good season is just so unfair. But we've got to get behind them, aren't we? Hopefully they're going to prove me wrong and I'm going to look like an absolute idiot and this is a masterstroke. Chance would be a fine thing.
Come on, Blades, we're back. Paul Heckingbottom bringing the youngsters in, getting this club performing, rebuilding Sheffield United Football Club. Okay, everything's not perfect, everything's not rosy, but let's have a look at the facts. Paul Heckingbottom took a depleted team, a relegated team last season. He galvanised the squad. He got them going. He blooded youngsters. Dan Jebbison, debut goal at Everton, 5 minutes in. He won away at Goodison. We beat Burnley, amongst other wins. That club was on its knees and Hecky was the man that galvanised them. Look what he's done with the under-23s. Okay, are we taking the cheap option? Maybe so. Have we given him a 4.5-year contract? So what? What does that mean? Do people see out contracts these days? Who knows? I tell you one thing though, I'm excited for the future of Sheffield United Football Club. Is this going to work? I think it will. We've got to remember we were spoilt in the Premier League. Absolutely spoilt. We went on a run from League One, from the doldrums, to flirting with Europe. That was a dream season. Let's be honest with ourselves, Blades. Let's have some reality. We are a mid-championship team looking to challenge for promotion and then potentially go up to the Premier League and this time stay there. Do we want to be a yo-yo like Norwich? Do we want to be a yo-yo like West Brom? Do we want to be a yo-yo like Fulham? You know, we want long-term stability. There is nothing wrong with 2 or 3 years in this division, building the youngsters. The likes of Tong, Jagielka of days of old, they were brought through. Look what happened. Long-term longevity for Sheffield United Football Club. Okay, we all want instant gratification. Let's have a bit of patience. Heckingbottom's running what army.
Well, it's never boring being a Blade, is it? Slav has left the Blades. We don't know the full reasons why. We understand he has been sacked. We can speculate all we like, but we'll never really know, will we? On to Heckingbottom, also bringing in Jack Leston, Stuart McCall, which is why I felt it was fitting to bring out the old Daysun shirt out of mothballs. Really comfy shirt, by the way, but quite big. Hecky himself, in the interviews he's given, seems to be out of his tracksuit into a nice suit now, which I'm guessing he's paid for with his new bumper contract, so fair play to him. Hecky being told to wring every last drop out of the current squad and the youth. He said more outs than ins in the transfer window, which is very telling. I think we'll probably see in January maybe a return of Laporta and Brunt. Jebison, I'm not sure if he can be recalled or not. It'd be probably best for him to stay out on loan. But more outs than ins, however, I'm really struggling to see how we're going to be able to sell some of these players, who's going to want to come in for them, and especially on the big money they're reportedly on. Good things about Hecky being brought in. He understands the team, the ethos of the club. He's very familiar with the 3-5-2 formation as well. Things that worry me about Hecky coming in: the 3-5-2 formation hasn't worked for quite a while now. In the Premier League, he oversaw some of our heaviest defeats. And actually, will he struggle to attract players? He's not a massive name in club football. Will that make a difference? Not sure. We need to get behind the manager, get behind the players, and ultimately, this is all that matters.
Well, Blades fans, here to talk about 𝐍𝐸 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐶 out as head coach of Sheffield United and Paul Heckingbottom in as football manager of Sheffield United. But today I really want to talk about the most important part of this news, and that is Paul Heckingbottom as our manager, as the person leading the team on the field. Now, in the press conference, we heard that maybe results on the field aren't going to be the most important. They're probably going to be judged, but Paul Heckingbottom won't be judged solely on those results. And while that may be the case, while that may be the board's point of view, me as a fan, that's what I care about. I want the team to be playing well. I want the team to be entertaining, to be winning on the field, and be doing the best that they can. And Heckingbottom, from day one, has proved that he is the right man for this job. You saw it immediately in the first training video that the club posted this week, that he was getting the players ready for this game and identifying one of the biggest flaws that we had, which was being slow on the ball, holding the ball, losing the ball, not making a quick, decisive pass. He fixed that. We saw that one of the drills he was having the players run through, the one that he was getting in their heads, getting in their faces to be better on, was quick passes, not giving up the ball, not losing possession. And we saw that on Sunday. The results from that one training session, and I'm sure they worked on it throughout the rest of the week, they worked. We got out there, and yes, we used the 3-5-2 formation. Yes, we used Basham as an overlapping center back. Yes, we used two strikers. All of that can be fluid. But the mentality the players had was quick on the ball. You get the ball, you find the pass. If you can make a dribble, if you can make a run with the ball, great, do that, but find a pass, find an open man. And we utilized those quick passes to carve up the Bristol City defense. Yes, we scored 2 goals, but goodness gracious, we could have had 6 in this game. It was awesome to see. I loved the energy that the players had. And honestly, I don't care what formation we use, as long as we are making these quick, decisive passes, quick runs, off-ball movement. This is the type of stuff that will win us games, will bring us back up to the championship promotion contention that we deserve to be in. The quality of these players deserves to be in playoff contention. I'm just really excited.
So to me, it's not about, do I want Slav in or out? Do I want Heckingbottom in or out? It's about the way the board has handled this utter chaos that they've decided to put on the club. And I really just want to point out the things that the chairman and Steve Bettis as well said in the press conference that just leave me absolutely astounded that they would actually say these things on the record to a fan base that's already not happy with them. Let's start with the chairman. I'm not a football man. I don't live in Sheffield. And the 3 magic words, I don't care. Well, you know what? We care, okay? We care about this club. We've been around a lot longer than you have. So whether you think it, don't get in front of a microphone and say that you don't care about your football club and your football club's fans, okay? Second of all, you say Paul Heckingbottom is now the man. He's going to be the face of the football club. We're not going to hear from the chairman or the prince or Bettis. We're going to hear from Heckingbottom. Well, why couldn't Slav have done that? Why couldn't Wilder have done that? And no offense, I'm going to support Paul Heckingbottom up and down. I truly hope he's the man for the job. I truly hope he gets us back in the Premier League. But what credentials does he have that makes me as a supporter feel that he's the one for the job? Steve Bettis says, I've known him a long time. Oh, well, that's great. That's great. Steve Bettis has known him a long time, so we should trust him. He just doesn't have the pedigree. He was the under-23s manager, and I just don't see a reason that a football club that just got relegated from the Premier League is going after somebody who doesn't have a promotion to the Premier League on their CV like, oh, I don't know, 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝𝐕𝐏𝐍 did. Okay? And here's the last thing, and this was the thing from the press conference that really stuck out to me above it all. The chairman said, we did not have our strategy in place until after we offered 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝𝐕𝐏𝐍 the job. This is a football club that we've known had been getting relegated since Christmas of the Premier League season. You've had more time than any other football club to get a strategy in place. You went after Blessing, you couldn't get him. You thought about giving it to Heckingbottom back then, you didn't. And then you went out and got Slav, even though he didn't want to play the 3-5-2 that you wanted. And you went out and got him before you put your strategy in place. So you're spending money, and then you have the nerve to come out and say that Heckingbottom needs to blood the youth, and basically don't expect to spend money in January. This is a board that leaves me with no confidence in them, but all we can do now as fans, as we've always done as Sheffield United fans, is get behind the team, cross our fingers, and hope for the best. Up the Blades.